When day broke after that earthquake in 1773, the proud city of Guatemala lay in ruins. The survivors fled in panic. A day's march to the east, they founded a new, more modest capital. It too was called Guatemala. The old ruined city was renamed Antigua Guatemala. And this is Antigua today. It lies at the foot of 3 volcanoes. Its citizens gradually returned and made their houses inhabitable again. People here are no longer afraid of the volcanoes. But the representatives of the Pope and the King, those who held positions of power in the churches and the monasteries, did not return. They abandoned the magnificent buildings, the splendor of a colonial stage set designed to portray Spain's wealth and power for all time, leaving it all behind in ruins. The first cracks had appeared in Spain's vast empire in the New World even before the earthquake struck. The power and importance of the pious colonial rulers was already on the wane. At the start of the colonial era, Spanish architects could call on as much forced labor as they wanted. But those days were long gone. The surrounding villages were deserted. The Indios had either been worked to death on early building sites or they had fled. The white settlers complained about a shortage of slaves for the work in the fields. So Antigua was never rebuilt, and the ruins were forgotten about. Until the last century, that is, when the citizens of Antigua found a completely new use for the ancient buildings. They realized that because of their immense historical value, the relics of the dark colonial days could be a lucrative source of income. And indeed, the ruins, which receive great care and attention, now attract hundreds of thousands of tourists every year. Centuries ago, the buildings were erected by Indios, and the repair and maintenance work is again done by Indios. But today they are paid for their labor, and they have regular working hours. And they're no longer employed by the church, but by the local authority. Antigua guards its ruins like treasure. Skeletons of reinforced concrete artistically protect them from further earthquakes. Lacking a roof for all time, the huge cathedral of San Jose bears testimony to the megalomania of the former Spanish rulers. Spared by the earthquake, the cathedral's facade looms large on the big Parque Central like part of a film set. Behind it today, there is only the extremely modest church of San Jose, decorated in contemporary style. This is all the church Antigua needs. The old prison remained virtually intact. Today it's the seat of a municipal administration which markets Antigua with great skill. In fact, Antigua has become a dream destination for tourists from all over the world. The hallmark and focal point of the town is its 250-year-old and rather risque fountain. The sirens from whose breasts the water flows forth survived the earthquake unscathed. The fountain is also the scene of a daily market. Toys, the word of the Lord, souvenirs and shoe-shine boys. Indeed, there's child labor wherever you look. Craft work done by children. Or how about adopting a child? The armed guards outside banks, jewelers' stores and supermarkets are a sign of the ever-present threat of violent crime in Guatemala, crime which also affects Antigua. It's safest for tourists to move around in a group, but outside the town, not even that is a guarantee against being robbed. So some visitors prefer the safety of the five-star hotel in the ruined monastery. It's here at the latest that the traveler notices the existence of two separate societies in Guatemala. On the one hand, there's the world of the ruling class, businessmen, entrepreneurs, all of whom are white. And on the other, there's the world of those who were once conquered, the Indios. They might no longer be slaves, but it is still they alone who do all the lowly jobs. The two societies in Guatemala fought bloody conflicts against each other right up until 1996. Now, peace reigns. But the division into two camps created by the country's former colonial masters still persists. With his credit card and white skin, the tourist automatically identifies himself with the ruling class, and he might well regard these picturesque Indios in such a historic setting as a reflection of reality. However, Antigua is not the real Guatemala, but a perfectly orchestrated illusion. The history presented here has been carefully purged of anything that might prove distressing to the eye, like poverty. Begging is forbidden in Antigua. Agreeably, there is also a ban on penetrative advertising. Indeed, conservationists exert a major influence here, on colors and shapes too. Strict guidelines must be adhered to ensure that everything in this stage set is just right. In a country where need and social conflicts abound, this is an island of happiness and beauty. The whole town is a museum, with thousands of hotel beds and no shortage of staff. washerwomen's pool. The picturesque face of poverty. You could almost get the impression that here even the servants are happy. The guests certainly are. They enjoy the cultivated historical ambience, largely screened off from the ugly reality all around. And somehow the city fathers have managed to prevent the masses of tourists from becoming a headache. This successful concept guarantees some of Antigua's citizens a good income and at the same time preserves this cultural heritage for the world, along with the beautiful but troublesome cobblestones. Here, virtually every building in town is used for housing visitors, and not only holidaymakers. At reasonable cost, foreigners can learn Spanish, or the art of painting at more than 50 private schools. Antigua is full of motifs, an idyll that bears testimony to a time long past. Earth tremors still occur here, but they have lost their terror. For many years now, only single-story buildings have been erected with roofs made of stout wooden beams. People here have learned to live with the volcanoes. An attempt is being made to combat the other threat in Antigua, street crime. Not with measures designed to alleviate poverty all around, but with an even greater police presence. No one should visit this lookout point, it's emphasized, without a police escort. Antigua Guatemala, a treasure. Dangerous, but beautiful.